I found the radio at the back of an old flea market stall, sandwiched between a pile of dusty books and a broken cuckoo clock. Something about its worn wooden frame and old brass knobs called out to me, perhaps a whisper from a forgotten era. The vendor, a wrinkled man with eyes too sharp for his age, smirked as I handed over the cash. "This one's special," he said, his voice almost drowned by the market's hum. I should have paid more attention to the way he said it, like he knew something I didn't. Once home, I plugged it in, eager to hear echoes of the past. But all it gave me was static, a relentless hiss that seemed to fill the room with a suffocating presence. That night, as the clock struck midnight, the static shifted. It was no longer a chaotic noise but a soft murmur, as if tuning into a distant station. I leaned in closer, my heart pounding with the thrill of discovery, but the voice that came through stopped me cold. It was my own, whispering my private thoughts, fears, and secrets. I could hear myself planning tomorrow's errands, worrying about my job, and worse, the things I never dared to say out loud. Paralyzed by the eerie intrusion, I sat frozen until the voice faded back into static, leaving me questioning my sanity. The following nights were the same. Midnight struck, and the radio narrated my day, each word an intimate invasion. I tried to ignore it, to sleep through the witching hour, but the more I resisted, the louder it seemed to become. My thoughts, once private, were now laid bare, dissected and broadcasted by this vintage relic. It wasn't long before I noticed a change in the broadcast. It began predicting my actions, narrating events before they happened. The radio knew what I would think before I did, as if it had gained control over my mind. One night, as the voice droned on about a future conversation I would have, it suddenly paused. There was a crackle, and then it spoke a sentence that sent a shiver down my spine. "He is watching you." My blood ran cold, and I glanced around the room, but I was alone. The radio fell silent, leaving only the static, now a sinister backdrop to my racing thoughts. In a panic, I grabbed the radio and hurled it against the wall. It shattered, the pieces scattering across the floor, but the static lingered, echoing in my mind. It was then I realized the truth. The radio might be broken, but whatever had been listening was still there, and it was never going to leave.